Music is a massive part of Doctor Who, just as much as the TARDIS and the Daleks. Oh, and of course maybe the Doctor themselves. But apart from that, in modern Doctor Who, the music is a major factor in quality, emotion and delivery. Take one of the major criticisms of the Chibnall era, for example, that characters lacked identity. Back in the Russell T Davies and Moffat eras of the show, each companion came with a main theme alongside several variants. Or in the case of Clara, probably nearer to several hundred. Okay, well, maybe not that much. But since the return in 2005, Murray Gold's and Segun Akinola's music have worked together to heighten the overall quality of the show and turn fantastic scenes into near perfect scenes. The departure of Ten and Rose would be nowhere near as depressing without Doomsday running along in the background. And the 11th Doctor's speech in The Rings of Akaten would be nowhere near as emotionally driven and compelling without the score behind it. 13 also had some great themes too, like her regeneration theme, and the theme for her monsters like the Daleks, the Weeping Angels, and of course her master. So today I'm going to be going through all of these tracks and picking out 10 examples of the greatest hits from modern Doctor Who. This probably isn't my favourite top 10, that would be a whole nother list, but this is what I believe to be the top 10 greatest tracks in the contemporary era, and basically just 10 really good tracks. There's also a Google survey to fill out in the description if you want to, where me and a few friends will be discussing your responses in an upcoming episode of my podcast TARDIS Talk. So with all that out of the way, subscribe for quality YouTube content and let's get into number 10. It's worth mentioning again that none of these 10 tracks have been placed in any order of preference. I've just picked out 10 great tracks and put them in a list of a random order. Let's see if any of your choices make the cut. In the 10th spot, we have the Doctor's theme from Rose. This theme is notably the baseline of the Doctor's theme. While I Am the Doctor and I Am a Good Man are each in their own retrospective themes for their Doctors, the Series 1 Doctor theme in Rose is what I feel to be the baseline theme for all modern Doctors. It encapsulates the loneliness of the Doctors following the historical events in the Time War and still presents that everlasting hope and triumph within the Doctors to fight the good fight over the power of evil. Variations of this theme have been used across countless incarnations, with one major example being the 12th Doctor's regeneration into Jodie Whittaker's 13th incarnation. The theme of The Doctor guides the show and the audience into a brand new era. With Murray Gold now returning for the next era of the show too, I think we're definitely going to hear this melody again, or at least get some further variations of it. For place number 9, we have She's the Doctor from Power of the Doctor. This theme combines several variations of the 13th Doctor's themes across her run as the Time Lord and had Segun pull out some of his best work. This is the theme that runs alongside Jodie's final scene and her regeneration back into David Tennant with the 14th Doctor. While the majority of this theme works as a quiet backtrack, as most of Segun's work does, the emotional strings are tugged hard at the climaxes of the music. After listening to this track and seeing the emotion it helps connote on screen with Jodie's regeneration, it only makes me wish more that Segun's music took less of a back seat in Chibnall's era and was more emotional and forward-coming like Murray's. Next up, we head back to Murray G and touch on another regeneration track, The Shepherd's Boy. While this track wasn't first used for the 12th Doctor's regeneration, it is a perfect fit and works to elegantly match the tonal style and writing for Capaldi's older Doctor. The track may have been composed with the regeneration in mind. Series 9 has some of Murray's lazier work as he tires from the show, a feeling I hope he does not bring into RTD2. So with this track being in the less original musical season score, The Shepherd's Boy really does stand out from the crowd. Again, not to mention its wonderful use in two of some of the best stories from the show. Returning to Segun Akinola, we venture into Series 13's more divisive second half. with The Timeless Children. The track in question, Have a Blast of This, was featured only once, where the Whittaker Doctor makes her escape from the Matrix. The theme has a modified version of the title sequence canonized into the show. Not only is this a fantastic concept, but the remix theme in itself is utterly fantastic. Back again to our returning composer, Murray Gold's Doomsday track is one of the most heart-wrenching scores he has ever created for the show. With the fact this was worked into the scene with the Doctor and Rose's initial departure, the hearts of audiences across the British Isle broke when the tears streamed down the face of our loved TARDIS duo. Murray's theme was the final push to send the United Kingdom into a period of grief, and works fabulously with the chosen scene. Even people who aren't Doctor Who fans like me and you will tend to recognise this track with that scene and vice versa. It's safe to say that this was Murray's imprint on not just a new generation of Doctor Who fans, but a new generation of people in the United Kingdom. The Rings of Akhaten is a mixed series opener. Some love it, some hate it, and some can't really even remember it. I myself am a mix of all three. But what most people can agree over on is that the Doctor's speech to the Sun alongside Murray's score is one of the best scenes ever in the entire show. This theme shows up again in the 11th Doctor's Regeneration and is some of the saddest yet hopeful songs ever to be written. The track does what Murray does best, combining hope with sadness and peace with danger. This mix of emotions in this fantastically scripted and performed scene works to create one of the most memorable speeches in this 60-year-long show. Now for one of my favourite tracks, again by Murray Gold. The track which I'm sure many of you will have on your list too. This is Gallifrey, Our Childhood, Our Home. First hinted at in Utopia, then heard in its full glory in The Sound of Drums, This is Gallifrey becomes a series mainstay, used to represent the Doctor's home all the way up until the Doctor's Falls in Series 10. I'm certain that with Murray's return, this theme and variants will also come with him, and I for one cannot wait. Now for one of my favourite series openers, Spyfall Series 12. And the third spot we have Doctor, the Doctor. An all-around epic fest, my favourite Segan Akinola track to date, and a song that's filled with passion, power, style, jazz, excitement, thrill, and everything else Whittaker's Doctor. This is one of those songs that would easily make it into my top 5 personal favourites, alongside classics like Dazzling End and Donna's theme. Maybe another time we could rank the companion themes. If that's something you'd like to see, then let me know with a thumbs up on this video. Regarding this track, the official Doctor Who website said, for the TARDIS team's suited and booted entry to the evil Daniel Barton's birthday party in Spyfall Part 1, the show demanded a piece that was suitably shaken, not stirred. Doctor, the Doctor plays homage to John Barry's classic James Bond score with a sweeping reprise of Akinola's theme for the film, established in the series 11. It's just proof that the Doctor Who soundtrack can do anything, and again, this is why I'm so excited to see Murray Gold return, especially after listening to the Years and Years score. Now for a jump back in time with a fun fact about our next track, All the Strange Creatures. Did you know that this track was originally composed just for Series 3's episode 42, which by the way is very underrated? But the track proved so brilliant it ended up being used right from the series get-go, and all the way up until the 10th Doctor's Swan Song, as well as in the trailers for that era. In the final spot of our list, we have I Am the Doctor. Yes, you like me are probably sick of hearing this track as it is extremely overused. But with all of its variants accounted for, this truly is a fantastic track. The 11th Doctor and his theme go hand in hand and is a truly wonderful expression of the character in that era. This song is known by every Doctor Who fan and ingrained into the souls of people who have recently watched Series 5 through to the end of 7. So with that out of the way, we draw our video to a close. Remember that there is a survey in the description for the next episode of our podcast, and I am open to making more videos about music. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.
Bye!